Hi, my name is Mahima Kapoor, and I'm an artist in residence at the Belgrade Art Studios this month. A little bit about myself. I am from India, New Delhi, and I did my bachelor's here in College of Art in New Delhi, and I pursued my master's in Massachusetts College of Art in Boston, in the US. And I was hopping, like I was basically a part of a lot of residencies after I graduated from Mass Art, and that's when I discovered my love for residencies. I feel like it's a great time for you to just isolate yourself, sometimes alone, sometimes with like-minded people, like the other artists that join you, and all the residencies I attended in the past were all very different from each other, and I feel like that's also something that's very, very exciting about them. You don't know what you're in for. All you know is that you're not going to be in your comfort space. And I think all artists are craving always kind of to step out of your comfort zone. So I highly recommend residencies for all of us. So yeah, I was a part of residencies in the US, in France, and then the pandemic hit, and we were all locked inside. Um, Fortunately or unfortunately, this was also the time when I was planning my wedding. So a lot of the time in the middle of the pandemic, maybe about 6 months were taken. I was just planning my wedding, and me and my now husband were taking care of all the arrangements because it was a very small event, of course, because of the pandemic. There was some extra, you know, situations that we had to take care of. So I think I would say like 6 months of the pandemic was basically just me trying to get married. But if I talk about my practice, I think I took a lot of this time to reflect and just kind of stop and look inside. Because I was traveling a lot before that and I was a part of the residencies, I think there was so much information that I wasn't even aware of it, and I was subconsciously absorbing so much. I felt like this time really helped me. I mean, in a very ridiculous way, I felt like I used this time very, very nicely for me mentally to absorb and kind of look back at all the influences that I might have, gained over the past couple of years. And this also led to me working on a lot of old paintings that I had stopped working on because of travel or because of again a residency or an exhibition that I had to work for. So I think coming across this online residency call for art that I saw. I think it was at Res Arts where I saw Belgrade Art Studios open call, and I was like, uh, I don't have to travel for this. I am not really spending any money traveling or accommodation. I can just do this from like the safe space of my studio. Were the pros, and then the cons were obviously that okay, I don't get to see a new country, I don't get to physically meet new people. Um, Again, like traveling and coming across new people, cultures, environments is a big part of what I do and what all artists do, I believe. So again, that was something that I was really skeptical about, but I still went ahead and applied for it and was fortunate enough to get it. And I'm in a way very relieved that I did it because I'm such a I think as artists we're all always trying to do things like by hand and like physically we want to get like first-hand experience of actually being in this space and absorbing it, like doing everything online like digitally to me felt a bit daunting. Like I thought it would take so much of my energy just figuring out like everything, scheduling or the technical stuff that comes with it. But now that I've now that I've been a part of an online residency, I feel like that's out of the way and I'm totally comfortable in this internet zone. And I mean, I know how to use my energy online. And I think Belgrade Art Studios did a good job at giving me my own space to also keep working on the stuff that I'm doing otherwise, like apart from the residency. And they were also very like, it was also great that they came up with a concept that we all have to work around. And that's something that was very new about this particular residency, is that they they guided us a little bit in the beginning, from which we could stem our projects from, and then from there onwards we could just take our own flights. So I think that's really interesting, because also staying indoors may not always be the most thriving experience for artists. And some of us, me at one point, was also feeling very uninspired. I felt lack of momentum in the studio. So I feel like a lot of that is out of the way, and I'm back in my momentum. All the weekly calls have been great, in terms of just, that 1 hour is just you're traveling out of time, you're traveling out of your country, and just you're talking to new people. They're in different countries and they're doing all kinds of stuff. So I think it's been great. I have been working on a sculpture uh, during my time at the residency since the past month, and thinking about the idea, I was again looking back at everything being online, and the lack of movement that I'm feeling being a part of a residency, which is like the opposite of how I felt before. So I wanted to make a project about these movements, and I presented the idea to the team, and I requested all the artists to send me a movement that they want to create, that they might have experienced, they might be in, they might be making that movement. It was very non-specific, and I asked them to record it and send it to me, send me a visual representation of that movement. And I'm basically creating sculptures inspired from the movements that I have received. And just the whole, I love the whole, I like that how I presented the idea. Everyone has perceived it very differently, and they're sending me a bunch of things. And what I'm creating out of them is something that I've not done before, and it couldn't have been, because I'm getting these amazing, bits of life, like basically from everybody's studios. So the work is still in progress, and I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to what actually ends up happening.